Lesson 7. At the beach.
Hello. Today we're going to review the modals would, could and might. And then we're going to learn the second or imaginary conditional. First, let's learn some new vocabulary. Okay, we have a dune. A dune. A dune is a hill made of sand near a beach. A beach buggy. Beach buggy. A beach buggy is a vehicle you can drive across the sand on the beach. A sand castle. A sand castle. A sand castle is a small model of a castle which is made out of sand, usually by children on the beach. A sand bucket. A sand bucket. A sand bucket is an open container with a handle used by children usually for carrying sand on the beach. Okay, next we have a sand bar. A sand bar. Now a sand bar is a long pile of sand in the ocean formed by movement of the water. So it's in the ocean. Okay, a slalom skier. A slalom skier. A slalom skier is a person who can water ski using only one ski. A jet ski. A jet ski. A jet ski is a small, fast boat that one or two people can ride for fun. We have a wave. A wave. A wave is a line of raised water that moves across the surface of the water. A surfer. A surfer. A surfer is a person who rides over the water on a special board. A sunbather. A sunbather. A sunbather is a person who likes to lie in the sun. And this person can either suntan or sunburn. A chaise longue. A chaise longue. Now a chaise longue is a long chair with a back that can be upright for sitting or it can lie flat for sunbathing, and it's used on the beach. Next we have the tide. The tide. The tide is the regular rising and lowering of the sea. A windsurfer. A windsurfer. Now a windsurfer is a person who sails across the water by standing onto a board and holding on to a large sail. Next we have a marina. A marina. A marina is a small area of water where people keep boats used for pleasure. A seashell. A seashell. Now a seashell is the shell of an animal which can be found on ocean beaches, and there are many different kinds of seashells. And lastly we have driftwood. Driftwood. Driftwood is wood which is left on the seashore. Okay, let's go over these again. A dune. A beach buggy. A sand castle. A sand bucket. A sand bar. A slalom skier and a jet ski. A wave. Okay, over here. A surfer. A sunbather. A chaise longue. The tide. A windsurfer. A marina. A seashell and finally driftwood.
Modal auxiliaries.
Okay, well let's begin our review and let's review the use of would. Have a look at these sentences. Would you like to go to the beach? I would rather get a suntan than a sunburn. When I was a child, I would go to the beach every day. Gerald would like a new surfboard. Now, would is a modal auxiliary. It can be used in different sentences with different meanings. Now, let's have a look at how we use them. In the first sentence, it's used for making a polite request. So, used for a polite request. Would you like to go to the beach? In the second sentence, it's used as a preference. So I would rather get a suntan than a sunburn. In the third sentence, it's used for a repeated action in the past. Something you used to do all the time. When I was a child, I would go to the beach every day. And in the fourth sentence, it's a polite way to say want. So it's polite want. Gerald would like a new surfboard. So let's practice. Let's start today's lesson with the review of would, and let's use would in some sentences. Okay, Rosa, do you like the beach?
I would go every day if I didn't have school. There are so many handsome men on the beach.
I'm sure. Lewis?
I would rather go to the football match than the beach. Look at my back. Would you like to have a sunburn like that?
No, I wouldn't. And Monica?
When I was younger, I would go all the time, but now I have more important things to do.
Very good. And now I would like you to look and listen.
Look and listen.
Would you mind asking the lifeguard his name? Carl would prefer to surf than to sail. When Mike had a girlfriend, he would go to the beach all the time with her. Jack would like to use the jet ski.
Read and repeat.
Okay, well now let's take a quick look at might. Have a look at these sentences. Calvin might be the man on the jet ski. We might stay at the beach to watch the sunset. Might I use your beach towel? Might the children build a sandcastle here? Okay, now might is a modal auxiliary, and it's used in two ways. The first way, it's used to express something that's not certain. It's like maybe. So the first two sentences, might is used this way. The second way it's used is for polite requests. And in the second two sentences, might is used this way. Okay, let's practice. What are you going to do this weekend, Lewis?
I might buy some suntan lotion, and my back is very sore.
I'm sorry about that. And Monica?
I might go with my friend to the marina. She wants to buy a new jet ski.
Okay, good. So neither of you, you're not sure. Maybe you'll do that. Okay, Rosa.
I might go to the beach. I want to get a suntan like Monica's. Might I borrow your suntan lotion, Monica?
Sure.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. That was a polite question, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, everyone, thank you very much. And now you might like to look and listen.
Look and listen.
Might I use your beach umbrella? Ralph might not go to the beach tonight. The beach might be closed after 8 o'clock. Might I take a picture of the lifeguard?
Read and repeat.
Well, let's review one more modal auxiliary, could. Have a look at these sentences now. Patty could swim fast when she was younger. Could I put my boat in this marina? You could try the waves at Laguna Beach. The lifeguard could be in the restroom. I just read that they may clothe Smith's Beach. That couldn't be true. Okay, well, could is another modal auxiliary, and we use it in many different ways. First sentence, we used could for past ability. Past ability. Patty could swim fast when she was younger. Okay, the second sentence, it's also used for a polite request. So, just like might, we can also use could for a polite request. Could I put my boat in this marina? Okay, the third sentence, we're using could to make a suggestion. You have a good idea, you want to tell someone, so you say, you could try the waves at Laguna Beach. Okay, the fourth sentence, could is now used for possibility. So the lifeguard could be in the restroom. And in the fifth sentence, could is used for improbability. Okay. That means something probably isn't going to happen, or you don't believe that something can happen. So in the sentence it says, I just read that they may clothe Smith's Beach. That couldn't be true. It's like, I don't believe it. Okay, let's practice. If you lived on the beach, Monica, what could you do?
I could marry a handsome lifeguard. I could learn how to surf.
Good. Okay, and what about you, Rosa?
I'm not sure. Could you give me some more time?
Of course, of course. Lewis?
Me? Live on the beach? This couldn't be possible. Look at my sunburn.
You're right. I keep forgetting. Okay, we'll stay away from the beach, Lewis. Okay, Rosa, back to you.
Yeah, I could collect seashells. I could collect driftwood.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, everyone. And now, if you want, you could look and listen.
Look and listen.
Noah could surf if the waves were better. Could we sunbathe here? Reggie could talk to the lifeguard. Trisha could be in the water.
Read and repeat. Conditionals.
Okay, now let's learn conditionals of present or unspecified time. And we also call these imaginary conditionals. Now, this type of conditional sentence uses the modal auxiliaries would, could, and might. We'll start with would. Take a look at these sentences. Jane would buy a new chaise longue if she had some money. Pat would build a sandcastle if he didn't have a broken hand. I would live on the beach if all the girls wore bikinis. And Blaine wouldn't collect driftwood if his father didn't sell it. Okay, imaginary conditionals express ideas that the speaker thinks are untrue or unlikely to happen, or contrary to fact. So that's why we call them imaginary conditionals sometimes. Now, we can use these different ways. It could be for wishes, dreams, or advice. Now, it's not in the past. These sentences refer to the moment, to something now or something that's habitual, that we do all the time. Now, in these kind of conditionals, the main clause, we use a modal. We use would, could, or might. And in the if clause, we use what's called the subjunctive. Subjunctive. This is the same usually as the past tense. So we'll call that the subjunctive, and it's the same, usually it's the same as the past, but for the verb to be, we always use were. So we can say, if I were, if you were, or if he, she, or it were. We don't have to change to am or is, just were. Well, let's practice and hopefully we'll understand a bit more clearly. Do you want to be a lifeguard, Lewis?
I would be a lifeguard if I had a muscular body. I'm not muscular.
Yeah, I can see that. Monica, how about you?
I would be a lifeguard if I could swim better. I'm not very good at swimming, so I'm good at sunbathing.
Really? Okay, Rosa?
I will be a lifeguard if my mother let me. She thinks I'm still a baby.
I'm sorry about that. Okay. Now, your English would be better if you would look and listen.
Look and listen.
Fran would go to the beach if she could fit into her new bikini. I would rent a beach buggy, but they are too expensive. Lyle would try slalom skiing if he had more courage. If I were a surfer, I would have lots of girlfriends.
Read and repeat.
Well, now let's look at these conditionals using might. Okay, these sentences. If there was more wind, there might be more windsurfers. If there weren't a storm, Rita might go surfing. If it were sunny, we might get a suntan. And if Glenn came to the beach, his girlfriend might come too. Well, might is another modal auxiliary that we use in imaginary conditionals. It's used in the same way as would, but in these sentences, it's the idea of possibility is being expressed. So let's practice these. Okay, Rosa, how often do you go to the beach?
If I had money, I might go all the time. Suntan lotion is very expensive.
It is very expensive. Okay, how about you, Monica?
If I had a boyfriend, I would go more often. I don't like some of the guys at the beach. They're very rude.
Really? Okay, Lewis?
I might go more often too if I didn't get such a bad sunburn.
Lewis, you're so unlucky. And you might learn English better if you looked and listened.
Look and listen.
If the beach had more swimmers, we might hire a lifeguard. If Jan had a dune buggy, I'm sure he might also find a girlfriend. If I won the lottery, I might go to Waikiki Beach. If there were more chaise longues, more people might come to the beach.
Read and repeat.
Well, now let's look at could in imaginary conditionals. First sentence. If there were more people, we could play beach volleyball. If there weren't such a crowd, she could let her dog run loose on the sand. If Agatha had a lot of money, she could buy a new sailboat. And if Angelina Jolie was sunbathing, I could get a pair of binoculars. Well, could is another modal auxiliary used in conditional sentences, and it's used the same way as would or might. In the first three sentences on your screen, could is like ability. It's the idea of something that you can do if something else happens. In the last sentence, it's like might. So could is similar to might or can. And let's practice this one. Okay, so what could you do if you lived near the beach, Lewis?
I could watch all the beautiful girls if I lived near the beach.
I'm sure you would. And you, Rosa?
If I lived near the beach, I could walk there and not have to take a bus.
Good answer. And Monica, what could you do?
I could buy a new surfboard if I lived near the beach because I always rent one and they're very expensive.
Yes, they are. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. And now you could practice if you looked and listened.
Look and listen.
If Jake were a windsurfer, he could go with his wife. If the beach had more sand, more children could build sandcastles. If I owned a beach, I could open a casino. Nina could slalom ski if she had better balance.
Read and repeat. review.
Now let's do some exercises. Fill in the blanks with the appropriate modal. Lewis, you go first.
Okay.
Something we use your jet ski.
Could we use your jet ski?
Excellent. Could we use your jet ski? Monica, you do this one. Terry, something go surfing tonight. It's not a question. Terry, something go surfing tonight.
Terry might go surfing tonight.
Excellent. Terry might go surfing tonight. Okay, Rosa, you do the last one. Something you like to collect driftwood tonight. Rosa?
Would you like to collect driftwood tonight?
Excellent. Okay. Would you like to collect driftwood tonight? Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, well, let's do another exercise using modals. And this time I want you to give me how many sentences? Let's give 2 sentences each using modals. Lewis, you're a lifeguard and you can use might. And Monica, you're a sunbather, use would. And Rosa, you're a windsurfer, so I want you to use could. Okay? Lewis, your sentences.
I might swim to the sandbar during break. Might I take my break now?
Okay. Monica?
I would like to get a nice suntan today. I would need to have lots of suntan oil to do that.
Excellent. Okay, good. And Rosa?
I could certainly use some more wind. I could get my windsurfing board fixed tomorrow.
Good job. Thank you very much, everyone. Well, let's do an exercise using imaginary conditionals now. And I want you to finish these sentences with the appropriate clause. Anything that you can think of. Okay, Monica, we'll get you to go first.
Okay.
Okay. If Polly had a surfboard, what would she do if she had a surfboard?
If Polly had a surfboard, she would look some for good waves. She would look for some good waves.
For some good waves. Excellent. For some
good waves.
Okay.
Some?
If Polly had a surfboard, she would look for some good waves.
You haven't written some.
I haven't written some. She would look for some good waves. Great. Rosa, can you do this one, please? The tide could ruin the barbecue if... What happens? The tide could ruin the barbecue if...
The tide could ruin the barbecue if they don't move to a different place.
If they don't move to a different place. Excellent answer. The tide could ruin the barbecue if they don't move to a different place. And Lewis, one for you. Alice, something if she can get her boyfriend to go with her. What do you think, Lewis?
Alice might rent a beach buggy if she can get her boyfriend to go with her.
Good. Alice might rent a beach buggy. Alice might rent a beach buggy if she can get her boyfriend to go with her. Very good. Thank you all. Let's do one more exercise using imaginary conditionals. I'll give you a sentence with a mistake, and please correct the mistakes in each sentence. Monica, again, we'll let you go first. So, the first sentence will be with the mistake. I save all the beautiful girls If I were a lifeguard. I save all the beautiful girls if I were a lifeguard. What's the mistake?
Okay. I would save all the beautiful girls if I were a lifeguard.
Good. I would save all the beautiful girls if I were a lifeguard. Right, Lewis, you can do this one. I were a shell collector. I would have a great tan. Where's the mistake, Lewis?
If I were a shell collector, I would have a great tan.
Good, so it's right at the start. If I were a shell collector, I would have a great tan. And Rhoda, the last one's for you. I have a great surfboard if I was a surfer.
There are two mistakes. I would have a great surfboard if I were a surfer.
Excellent job. I would have a great surfboard if I were a surfer. Thank you, everybody. And now it's time to listen and write.
Listen and write.
Listen and write the sentences. Number 1. Could we bring the chaise longues to the beach? Number 2. I wouldn't go slalom skiing today if I were you. Number 3. Loretta might not go sunbathing today. Number 4. Could we use the new beach towels? Number 5. If we had more suntan lotion, we might get a good tan. Number 6. Theodore would go windsurfing if he had a board. Number 7. Roger could use the dune buggy if his father weren't at the beach too. Number 8. Would you like to go surfing with me? Number 9. Could Albert borrow your surfboard? Number 10. If the beach had more lifeguards, there might be more swimmers. Now check your work. Number 1. Could we bring the chaise longues to the beach? Number 2. I wouldn't go slalom skiing today if I were you. Number 3. Loretta might not go sunbathing today. Number 4. Could we use the new beach towels? Number 5. If we had more suntan lotion, we might get a good tan. Number 6. Theodore would go windsurfing if he had a board. Number 7. Roger could use the dune buggy if his father weren't at the beach too. Number 8. Would you like to go surfing with me? Number 9. Could Albert borrow your surfboard? And number 10. If the beach had more lifeguards, there might be more swimmers. Now read the story and answer the questions.
Read and answer.
Today, the Brighton police have closed the beach for at least a week. Mayor Tom Lansky was very unhappy with his decision, but there wasn't a choice. If we had more money to pay lifeguards, the beach might be open all the time, Mayor Lansky said. If we spent less money on the Easter parade, we could pay for more lifeguards, he stated. I would find the money for the lifeguards if I were on the City Employment Board, he also said. What might we do? Would raising taxes solve the problem? Could lowering the salaries of the lifeguards be a solution? Whatever the answer is, we must get our beach open again. Our local businesses are losing $10,000 a day because there are no tourists. Our children have nowhere to swim. We could clean and open the park pool, but that is too small. People of Brighton, unite! We must have a safe and clean beach in order to survive. Now listen and answer the questions. Number 1. What have the Brighton police closed? Number 2. How long will the beach be closed? Number 3. Was the mayor happy with the decision? Number 4. Why won't there be any lifeguards? Number 5. What is one solution to the problem? Number 6. Is the mayor on the City Employment Board? Number 7. What are 2 other solutions to the problem? Number 8. How are the local businesses doing? Number 9. Why is opening the park pool not an answer to the problem? And number 10. What does the writer of the article want? Now check your work. Number 1. What have the Brighton police closed? They have closed the beach. Number 2. How long will the beach be closed? It will be closed at least a week. Number 3. Was the mayor happy with the decision? No, he wasn't. Number 4. Why won't there be any lifeguards? There isn't enough money to pay them. Number 5. What is one solution to the problem? They could spend less money on the Easter parade. Number 6. Is the mayor on the City Employment Board? No, he is not. Number 7. What are 2 other solutions to the problem? They could raise taxes or lower the salaries of the lifeguards. Number 8. How are the local businesses doing? They are losing a lot of money each day. Number 9. Why is opening the park pool not an answer to the problem? It's too small. And number 10, what does the writer of the article want? He wants the readers to get together to solve the problem. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Practicing English.
Hey guys.
Hey Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Hey, Monica, what's your photo album doing here?
Well, my class and I were talking about past, present, and future, and we were using photos to talk about things we used to do. So I brought mine in to talk about things from the past.
Hey, that's a good idea. I think I'll use that sometime.
Monica, your book of photos is really full. Can we take a look at some of your pictures?
Of course. You know I've been all over the world, so I have some interesting photos in there.
So, is it really okay? Can we all look at some of your pictures? You know, we might find some interesting ones in there.
Really, it's okay.
Cool. I love looking at other people's photos. They can tell me a lot about a person. Can you tell me where this one was taken?
That looks like my trip to Hawaii.
Monica, look at you in that swimsuit. You look so young. Not that you don't look that way now, of course.
Well, I'll have you know, I was going to be a lifeguard if I was able to swim better.
Yeah, that is kind of important if you want to save lives in the water.
I would have been a lifeguard if I had had a better body. I swim okay, but the tiny bathing suits are just not for me.
I'm getting a mental picture of Dave in a Speedo. Ugh.
Okay, enough of that.
Monica, where's this photo taken and who are you with?
Oh, that was taken on a trip to London a few years ago. I should tell you a funny story about that.
What happened?
Well, I was on a flight from New York to London, and these were the guys that were sitting behind me.
Excuse me, what can I have you?
May I have a Coca-Cola?
One Coca-Cola,
I'll have an orange juice.
one orange juice,
I'll have a cola.
one cola. Coke, please. One Coke. Thank you. Okay, yeah, carry on.
Well, they were joking a lot on the plane and being really flirty. I couldn't believe how funny they were.
And then?
Well, the funny thing was, they were all staying at the same hotel I was. I should have known that if I talked to them, they would be asking me out on a date. Sure enough, the three of them were after me all week. Not only did they stay at the same hotel I was, but they were staying on the same floor.
Look, more beach pictures.
Where was this one taken, Monica?
Orange juice.
That was at Bondi Beach in Australia.
How did you like it there?
It was awesome.
Tell us more.
Well, the sand at the beach is powdery and really white. And the sea is the most beautiful shade of blue. And the waves, the waves are enormous.
Are there a lot of surfers there?
Yes, the boys, and there are girl surfers there too, have the most gorgeous bodies. So brown and healthy looking, and their hair white blonde from the sun and surf. I had a great month there.
Here's some pictures of the beach at sunset.
Yeah, when the sun goes down, the surfers gather on the beach and sing songs, dance, and have barbecues.
I could go for a bit of that right now. A month at the beach. Think about it. A little beach house with a porch at the front, the sound of the waves crashing nearby, sound of seagulls overhead. Sounds like heaven to me.
Oh look, Tarek found my other favorite beach photos, Brazil.
I didn't know you had been to Brazil.
Yeah, I taught English there for a year. It was a dream. Brazilians really know how to have fun.
And more amazing beach photos.
Ooh, look at these.
Yeah, those were the beach volleyball photos. There was a tournament being played while we were there. The crowd really enjoyed it.
Look at the mountains in the background. How beautiful.
Yeah, the people in Brazil really like to spend the day at the beach, reading under umbrella, playing volleyball, surfing, and even snorkeling way out in the ocean.
Now I have a big problem.
What's that?
Well, where should I go on my next vacation? Hawaii, Australia, or Brazil?